Hello and welcome back to another movie review. As always, I'm Kelly, and it's been a while, I know. And it's not just that everything's closed down because of obvious reasons. It's just, I don't really know what I'm going to talk about. Today, fortunately, I don't really have that kind of existential crises problem that I'm going through, mostly because this was going to be in theaters until all of this shit went down. And it's a nostalgic property that I grew up watching. I love Scooby Doo. I mean, it's not like a, I must have type thing, but I always loved watching it as a kid, and I was always entertained with all of the different spin offs of movies. I freaking adore the movie Scooby Doo on Zombie Island. It's creepy, they actually have to fight real monsters, and there's a genuine mystery there. It's amazing. And it's pretty much the antithesis of this movie, because this movie is boring, bland, there is no mystery, and it's not even about Scooby-Doo. Yeah, just to spoil this right out the gate, I feel like I got ripped off with this movie. Not just because it's a $20 rental, which is bullcrap for this movie, but even more so that $20 rental is only a 24-hour rental. Even Trolls World Tour at least gave you 48 so you could share the stream with your friends. I mean, seriously, I feel like I got ripped off. And if this is the new state of how movies are going to be releasing, I emphatically say let's go back to the middleman of theaters, please. Yes, they can't open right now and probably won't be open until sometime in October if we're lucky. Don't ant me. But this movie was a chore. This is the kind of soulless cash grab piece of crap that we were all afraid that pretty much Trolls was going to turn into. And kind of did with its sequel. But at least Trolls 2 was entertaining. This one, I don't even know where to start or even what to say, because it's just, it's not even that it's so bad, it's that it's just so bland and boring. But to be fair, let's talk about some of the things this movie did do good, because there are a couple of things I can mention, and that's pretty much the end of the spoil-free section. The rest of here is spoilers, so continue at your own risk. The first good thing I'll say about this movie is that the updated designs from the 2D drawn to the 3D world really do feel like they fit well. Everyone's got a good redesign here. Blue Falcon, Dino Mutt, Dick Dastardly, the Scooby Gang, even the Scooby Van, which we'll have to talk about that in the end, is a thing that pissed me off. But all of their designs really do work well, and to see this kind of Hanna-Barbera extended universe thing, I'm legit intrigued as to what could possibly come from it. More on that in a minute. Also in the good section, we'll just put the first 15-20 minutes of this movie. It's basically just a backstory for Scooby and the gang. We see Shaggy meet and then adopt the stray Scooby-Doo, and how they kind of grew up together, and then how they bumped into Fred, Velma, and Daphne and go on their first adventure and make a career out of it, and their first ghost, the guy in a mask, and all that jazz. It's legit entertaining, and if the movie had been like that for the rest of this, I probably would have said that it's a really good film. Unfortunately, it wasn't. But before we go on to that, I will say one other thing. Pretty much the voice acting from everyone across the board is really good. They are trying so hard, and sometimes their delivery makes things that aren't really that funny a lot more entertaining. There were some genuine chuckles and laughs out of here, and that mostly comes from the people who are playing all these characters. But enough stalling, let's talk about the bad crap, because that first 20 minutes does not mean jack shit. It's just there. It can be kept inside of a bubble that is split off into its own thing. The rest of this movie is not about Scooby and the gang. It's about Dick Dastardly, Blue Falcon, and Dino Mutt. Yeah, we have an entire movie named Scoob that's not about them. In fact, they're side characters in their own movie. It's so much so that Velma, Daphne, and Fred, they get sidelined to the point where they're not even in most of this movie. They show up at the beginning for the flashback stuff. There's a breakup where Simon Cowell shows up because someone thinks that joke is still funny. And then it's just Scoob and Shag who get abducted by, I wanted to say aliens at first, but it's just Blue Falcon, and they're trying to save Scoob from Dick Dastardly, who needs him to open up the gates of the underworld so he can get riches and save his dog, maybe, I don't know. It's not about Scooby. He's a MacGuffin to forward these other guys' plot. I genuinely get the feeling from this, from the writing and the directing standpoint, that they're kind of ashamed of Scooby-Doo. And they don't want him to actually be a mainstay in this movie. This is a backdoor to the Hanna-Barbera extended universe, because it's not about the Scooby Gang, it's about everybody else inside of this. Because that worked so well the first time, didn't it, Dark Universe? And this film does have the same kind of problem that a regular superhero movie that's trying to cram too much in at once has. It feels like the Amazing Spider-Man series again. We're so busy trying to set up the Sinister Six that we forgot to write the plot of this movie. And you know what? I'll even take back that comparison. At least Amazing Spider-Man made me give a shit about everything that was going on inside of that movie. Which, I know that I'm in the minority on that one, but even still, I could not care less about Blue Falcon trying to live up to the image of his father, who is the original Blue Falcon, and in the original costume and everything. I don't care about his budding relationship with his dog pal. I want to care about the budding relationship between Shag and his dog pal. And it's not like this is an impossible task. If they really wanted to include all these extended Hanna-Barbera characters inside of it, that's fine. But you have to make a Scooby Doo movie if you're gonna title it Scoob. This should be a big, open-ended mystery type thing, with the entire gang gathering clues, maybe finding pieces of the Blue Falcon armor and finding him captured or something, and, having him join the team. I mean, I've seen this done before. Scooby-Doo does crossover episodes all the damn time. Whether it be with Blue Falcon, or Batman, or the Harlem Globetrotters, or any number of other people, I know this shit can work. But it doesn't here, and because of that, we get to the biggest problem with this movie. It is painfully boring. So boring. You've seen this plot before. Them recycling plots on a Scooby-Doo episode, it should be something they're used to doing, but for some reason when they do it with this formula, it's just trash. And I'm going to say this right now, if I had to sit through a theater experience with this, and possibly a bunch of little kids who are not being entertained at all, and screaming, yelling, and running around and shit, this would probably make my worst list. It's legit that boring. It's an hour and a half, literally just barely 90 minutes long, and it feels like it's goddamn 3 hours. I had to start and stop this movie so many times, and even while it was playing, at times, I just felt the need to go and clean my apartment. I'd rather do that than watch a movie. You have fucked up. And again, I know people are like, oh, it's just a kid's movie. I am surrounded by kids' movies, and I have an entire rack over here full of more that I can tell you that should not be a problem or even the case. There's a good movie and there's a bad movie, and this is a bad one. And yeah, the cherry on top of all of this crap is that, like I said before, they have the original Mystery Machine inside of this movie. They blow it up and replace it with a new hip one that looks like it's Elon Musk's idea of a wet dream. It's so bad. It looks so obnoxious. Apple, please come over here and redesign this so we get something that looks a little bit less bland. And just for the reference, I am an Android person. I fucking hate Apple. That should tell you a lot about that joke. But yeah, overall, is this worth a stream? Not even close. If this were my regular rating system, you probably think it'd be at the bottom of the barrel with a fuck it, but it doesn't deserve that much. It's just so... bleh. It's so boring. It's so stupid. It's so try-hard, and it's clearly trying everything that every other studio has done to set up a cinematic universe. And you'd think Warner Bros. Would know better than that by now. But I can't honestly work up the energy to give it that hate. It's just so boring. It is an honest-to-God skip it. Maybe if I was inclined to be more generous, I'd say wait until it inevitably hits Netflix in a few months, which it will. Because, let's face it, it will. But fuck them. Because it's not even worth that. I don't see kids being entertained by this at all. I don't see adults looking for that nostalgic Scooby-Doo feeling, being entertained by this at all. It's just that boring and bad and bland. It doesn't deserve your time. It doesn't deserve your stream. And the $20 for a 24-hour rental is a fucking joke. But I digress. That's not what this video is about. And that's pretty much my thoughts on Scooby Doo. Sorry. Scoob! We can't actually call it Scooby Doo. And that's it for me. Did you enjoy the video? I know it's been a long time for review-wise for me. If there's anything you want me to review, put it in the comments down below. Let's get some healthy discussion going. I'm going to try to get more videos like this out in this day and age. And I'm probably going to end up doing some look-back reviews at a lot of the DC animated films, being that their universe just ended. So look forward to those. I will have a review of Trolls World Tour going up shortly after this one. I did record it. It's just I didn't feel it was good quality, so I got to re-record it and then I'll put it out. But it is coming. Also, if you haven't noticed on this channel, because it's basically turning into a pseudo gaming channel too, I've been streaming a lot, especially on Twitch with Final Fantasy VII. I have a few more parts I'm going to be uploading soon, so look forward to those. If you want to follow me over on Twitch, Cardmaster9 over there, the link's in the description down below. I don't have a set schedule for that one just yet, but eventually I hope to have it worked out. But the streams that do have a set schedule are here on YouTube every Thursday night. Right now it's at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, though that might get pushed back as soon as the school semester starts again. And we will be getting away from Final Fantasy over here. I'm going to probably go back to Pokemon over here and then everything else on Twitch, just to, mix things up. So if you want to catch those streams, I will be loading them over here just to, clarify. And yeah, that's it for me. Like, share, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see you all next time.